A little over a week ago, our country celebrated Memorial Day, a day that has been established to honor and mourn the lives of those soldiers who have given themselves in service to our country. It saddens me a lot of times when I think about that to realize Memorial Day isn't what it was meant to be. Everybody's trying to horn in on why we're celebrating that. And I think oftentimes that happens to a lot of memorials that are started for one reason or another. Memorials, though, were something that were set up oftentimes in the Bible. I don't know if you think about that much or contemplate it, but if you go and look in the scriptures, like in Genesis 28, you will find Jacob setting a rock, and he put his head on the rock and slept there and had dreams. And the next day he set that up as a memorial to remember the children of Israel were promised that land. In Joshua 4, verse 12, you'll find that when the Israelites crossed over into the promised land for the first time after those years in Egypt in slavery, when they passed over during that time, the waters of the Jordan River, which flow quite heavily at times, were blocked. The priest stepped into the water the ark bearer stepped into the water with the ark, and the waters abated. And so they crossed, but before it was all done, they went back and got the stones where the people bearing the ark had stood, and they set those stones up as a memorial to the children of Israel that this was their land and God had given it to them. And so memorials are not something that are unusual in the Bible. But in the New Testament, then, we get there, and what did Jesus say when he established the communion service? He says, "This do in memory of me." This is a memorial service. I'd like to read the passage just quickly, parts of it from 1 Corinthians 11. Paul is speaking, and he says, "I received from the Lord that which also I delivered to you, that when I can't even read with these glasses on. Should have had my wife clean my glasses this morning before I got up. In the night he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, 'This is my body, which is given to you in remembrance of me.' The same way afterwards he took the cup after the supper, saying, 'This cup is the New Testament in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you drink this cup, or eat this bread, and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes.'" When we come to the communion service like this, it is to remember Jesus, to remember what he's done for us, and remember that lays a burden on us also for the way we live. Because you go back down for the rest of the communion, he's condemning some of them for things that they were doing wrong and shouldn't be doing and would be condemned for. And so we need to make sure of our hearts and minds as we prepare to partake of the communion emblems.